Well, we have turned the calendar page to November, although it seems like temperatures really took a dip this week. It seems like the temperature all week was 6, 7 all week long. Really cold.
That's right, Julie. And you know what our average high for this time of the year is?
6, 7.
There we go. Hey, no jokes there. This is actually for real. We are seeing the average of 6, 7 for your high temperature for the first day of November. We should be averaging about 56 for that high by the 30th. And look at those overnight lows. We go from 45 to 35 by November 30th. So quite a dip in those numbers as well. Average rain 2.66. And today we are tracking some showers for the first day of November. Not a whole lot in terms of that accumulation. These showers have been light. We haven't seen any thunderstorms. We're not expected to see any thunderstorms out of this. Tulsa, we're now getting into the clear. So the further south and east that you are, those showers are with you, and they will be with you for another hour to hour and a half before we start to see any improvement by the later part of the morning into the afternoon. And with that, we'll get a quick clearing, and we will see the return of some sun for today. So not a washout like we've had over the last couple of Saturdays. We actually see improvements for the second half of the day today. How much rainfall are we looking at? Really struggling to even get 1/10 of an inch. So not much in terms of that accumulation, just some light precipitation in the area. We're taking that live look. Use our Brookside camera, all part of Wade's RV Weather Camera Network, as we are saying good morning. Temperatures a little bit cooler further to the north, but not as bad as what we had this time yesterday. We're sitting generally into those 40s and 50s across the area, not dipping down into those 30s again like we had this time yesterday. That northerly flow, though, has returned. We had south winds yesterday, so that north wind, that's going to impact those temperatures. We see those temperatures only climbing into those upper 50s for today. In fact, only getting to a high of about 59. Those showers early on, and then that sun returning pretty quickly. So have the sunglasses ready to go. 59 for that high temperature. Again, that normal should be about 67 for this time of the year. 60 further to the south, 63 to McAllister. Further to the north, a different story. You're looking at mid 50s up to Bartlesville, even over towards Coffeyville. For tonight, sunset at 6:27. It's our last 6 o'clock sunset for a while. We do have daylight saving coming to an end later on tonight into tomorrow morning, where we need to fall back 1 hour. We'll talk more about that coming up a little bit later. But for tonight, here's what you need to know. 40s for the evening hours, with overnight lows dipping down into the 30s. It is going to be a cold, cold evening ahead. Prepare now. If you have any sensitive vegetation outside, it needs to be covered up or brought indoors, this is the time to do it. Area-wide freeze watch going into effect later on tonight into tomorrow morning, with a freeze warning further to the north. So that's where you need to take the action. This is where we're saying, hey, we're watching those temperatures. Can't rule out some of those outlying areas to drop into those 20s through the overnight. Thankfully, we have a nice rebound in store for tomorrow, with temperatures returning to those 60s, mid and lower 60s across the board. We do have the return of southerly winds, and that's going to help us out and set the stage for a very pleasant week ahead. All right, temperatures are going to stay in those 40s and 50s. We do need to set our clocks back 1 hour at 2 a.m. So at 2 a.m., clocks go back to 1 a.m. I like to do this before I go to bed personally, because I'm not going to be up at 2 a.m., that's for sure. And then 70s looking ahead towards next week. Next week, definitely all the fall feels in this forecast. South winds will be there. I think a lot of people are going to be happy to kind of set up decorations, Julie, if you want to do it early, because we know Mother Nature can turn on us on a dime. But things are looking really great for next week, aside from those winds picking up, especially by Tuesday.